I knew we were going to move from Greece since 2010. The Lord told me, get ready. And I didn't know back then where it would be, but I said, okay, I'll wait. I had no idea back then that he was already planting LifePoint in Brussels. And he was already, you guys are going to go there and you're going to do this and this and this. And your kids are going to grow to serving the church.
Γιατί στην Ελλάδα είχε οικονομική κρίση και έτσι αποφασίσαμε να έρθουμε στο Βέλγιο για αυτόν τον λόγο. Βέβαια, πέρα από την εγκατάσταση έπρεπε να βρούμε και μια εκκλησία να πηγαίνουμε, γιατί δεν νοείται πιστός χριστιανός στον Κύριο να μην έχει μια δικιά του εκκλησία που εκεί θα βρει συνανθρώπους που πιστεύουν την ίδια πίστη με σένα, ώστε να προσευχηθούν, να βρει συμπαράσταση, να βρει ελπίδα, να βρει απαντήσεις σε διάφορα ερωτήματα που έχει, να προσευχηθεί για τα δικά του προβλήματα ή για τα προβλήματα και των άλλων.
My family moved from Greece to Belgium. I was 15. I was right at that age where I had just started thinking, okay, this is my home. This is where I'm going to spend the rest of my life. And I like my home. I definitely did not want to move to Belgium. No part of me wanted that.
So we packed our stuff, moved to Brussels, Belgium. One of the first things we did was look for a church to join. My parents, they always placed church as an importance. So we looked at one other church before joining LifePoint. But as soon as we had one Sunday morning at LifePoint, we knew that this is the church we want to go to. We were around maybe 20 people meeting in a small apartment. And I immediately felt a loving community. I immediately felt welcomed and like I had been there before.
Και έτσι σαν οικογένεια αποφασίσαμε να ακολουθήσουμε το LifePoint. Εγώ ήρθα το 2013, τέλος του 2013, και από τότε είδα σιγά σιγά την εκκλησία να μεγαλώνει.
So I remember when we first moved to Belgium, I didn't speak the language yet. And I remember being at school and these kids would just come up to me and make fun of me. And this continued on until I was in high school. And this really hardened my heart. Made me feel like I didn't belong. I would go to church on Sunday mornings. I would go to church on Wednesday nights. And I would always feel like I belonged.
I was going to church because, again, that's what I've always done. That was the correct thing to do. In the meantime, outside of church, I started trying out alcohol. I started dabbling with weed a little bit. I went and hung out with some friends one time at a park and ended up doing a little too much of both and woke up in the hospital. And I had to be defibrillated twice that one night. So when I had that near-death experience, that's when I realized that I can only be saved through Christ. When he showed me that, that's when he changed my life.
Εκεί πέρα λοιπόν στο ΕΒΕΡ σιγά σιγά η εκκλησία μεγάλωνε, είδα την οικογένεια μου να μεγαλώνει, ο Στέφανος ξεκίνησε να τραγουδάει, ο Μαθαίος έπαιζε τότε ένα, πώς λέγεται,
Τζέμπε.
Αυτό, και ο Παύλος σιγά σιγά υπηρετούσε μαζί με τη Σύνθη στη διακονία των παιδιών.
Over these years that I've been at LifePoint, God has continued to grow this desire in me to serve him. He started to really put it in my heart to go into ministry. I started leading a small group. When I got married with my wife, and our small group was just filled with young adults. In Belgium, it's a very transient city. And so you have many young adults who come and they're here without their families, they're alone, they're in a culture that's not a Christian culture anymore. So they're in a very difficult spot, and this community is something that's really important to them. He also put a love in my heart for the students in Belgium. I understand the difficulties of being a teenager in a school where you're the only Christian, where people make fun of you. So that's another area where God started to work in my heart to serve these kids, because we didn't have a student ministry.
As I came to a deeper and better understanding of who God is, I started to learn what Christian community is. I was able to understand the Bible, understand theology, understand what it's all about. I felt this conviction within me that I can't just keep this a Sunday morning thing. I definitely wanted to serve in some way, shape, or form. Some of the guys that were leading worship asked me if I was interested and if I'd like to try out and see what it's like. And I said, sure, okay.
Mom and Dad, I remember as we were growing in our faith, they were also growing in their faith. So my mom went to Kyle on a Sunday morning and she asked him where she could serve, and she told him anywhere but the stage, anywhere but on the stage.
Following week, I went to him. He said, well, I really thought about it. I prayed about it, and I really want you to translate for people. I said, okay, I'll do it. So the first time I translated, my hands were shaking. I couldn't hold my paper. It was like that. But then, God gave me that gift. And of course, he helped me to do it.
I've always been serving a lot at the church because that's what my dad taught me. He taught me that even if it's cleaning the bathrooms, you do it, and you do it with joy, because everything we do, and in any way we serve at church, we do it for God. So I'll gladly even clean bathrooms every Sunday for God.
I'm grateful that he did call my family to move, that he did put us in LifePoint, and that my life today looks the way it does because of what he has done.
Jesus changed my heart. He gave the church to me.
He kept working and working in my heart, and I started talking through this with the pastors at the church, and I was able to join LifePoint, to quit my job as a graphic designer and start serving the Lord as a minister at LifePoint Brussels. I'm so thankful that 13 years ago we came to Belgium and I joined this church. I've seen that the Lord's plan is better. In the beginning, when we moved from Greece, it was difficult leaving the friends I had, leaving the family I had.
The Lord was faithful enough that he showed himself continuously. Through the struggle, through the pain, he showed himself continuously through his church. He built us up through his church. And I'm so grateful for the church in Brussels, because now our whole family is in ministry, because they helped us, they walked us through pain, struggles, and loved on us, and just shared the word of God faithfully and truthfully, that we were all compelled by it. We fell in love by it. And now we all have a calling for ministry.